This month of December has not been pretty for the racing community, as of course we are still grieving over the loss of not only one racing giant, but two racing giants. Both Greg Biffle and Michael Annett both tragically passed away this month, and the racing community is still grieving over the loss of both Michael Annett and Greg Biffle. Everybody here in the track is currently on their feet, standing in the grandstands as they are saluting Greg Biffle and Michael Annett. And as you can see, the drivers doing the exact same thing like what they did at Bermuda Triangle for Charlie Cook. They're doing the exact same thing to honor both Michael Annett and Greg Biffle. And it really has been a rough couple of weeks for the racing community, as we are still speechless and devastated over the tragedies. And of course, every single race fan here is currently saluting both Biffle and Annett. Ironically enough, we heard speculation that both Annett and Greg Biffle were both going to run a race here in the Fastenal Cup Series. But unfortunately, we'll never be able to have an opportunity to see that. And as we continue our tribute lap, we'll take a moment of silence as we remember both Michael Annett and Greg Biffle. Such a heartwarming sight, as every single race fan here is standing by together as a community to honor the two drivers, as they have either a Greg Biffle or Michael Annett flag that they're currently raising up into the air, showing how much this is for the racing community about the legacy that they left behind. And our hearts are still wrenching over the family and friends of both Michael Annett and Greg Biffle. Such a devastating loss, especially during this time of year. A lot of people are probably saying, how are we going to go out here and race today, as we continue to grieve over the loss of Greg Biffle and Michael Annett? I'm sure the both of them probably would have said that we should continue to honor their legacy. Both Michael Annett and Greg Biffle will be missed in the racing community. Michael Annett was 39 and Greg Biffle was 55.
But tonight, 38 drivers here will be racing here at our second road course of the season, the Go Bowling at the Glen at WATKINS Glen International. Couple weeks ago in Richmond, we saw a huge swing in the championship standings. As you know, the past couple weeks, it has been dangerously close between the 19 and the 8. However, though, a lot of drivers fell right below the top 10 after Richmond Raceway. And now we are slowly but surely seeing Truex Jr. slightly trying to pull away from the championship lead with a huge momentum.
Yeah, man, Richmond was crazy a couple of weeks ago. Like, it looked like for a while Kyle Busch was going to get the championship lead because Truex Jr. was struggling throughout the whole entire race of Richmond. But then that's when we saw all the chaos there late at the end of the race. We saw a lot of guys pitted with 3 laps to go, including our race leader Tyler Reddick, who led 96 laps of Richmond, not 98, Sim Timmons.
My bad.
Yep, I'm still looking forward to this one. I still think it's going to be another great race here at the Glen.
Yep, it's definitely going to be a wild race for sure, as this is race number 10 of the season. Only 5 races to go after today, and we're about to find out how things are going to play out here today. Let's take a look at your starting lineup and see where your favorite drivers will be starting here at WATKINS Glen.
Well, it should be no surprise to see the 91 of Shane Van Gisbergen in here as our pole winner here on the road course here today at WATKINS Glen. But the 9 of Chase Elliott, however, on the outside front row. Chase Elliott looked to bounce back in points after a bad day at Richmond, including the 11 of Denny Hamlin, who both Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin were both caught up in that accident at Richmond Raceway.
Be on the lookout for both of those guys as we see the 12 of Ryan Blaney also starting 4th right beside Denny Hamlin in row number 2. Starting 5th, we see our points leader, Truex Jr., who's currently up against Kyle Busch by 16 points now. And today he hopes to continue to increase it as he starts in the top 5. And how about the 5 of Kyle Larson finally starting inside the top 10? He starts 6th right beside our championship leader.
And in row 3, we see two guys bringing back the same colors as what have it at Richmond. The 22 of Joey Logano, who is now 4th in the standings right now, with the 24 of William Byron, hoping to bounce back in points after a terrible day at Richmond.
Is that a Chevy paint scheme on a Toyota body?
And rounding up the top 10, we see Trackhouse teammates Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain, both drivers looking to continue to stay in the hunt of this battle in the championship. And Ross Chastain of Richmond finally got himself a top 10, so hopefully this is a sign that things are looking promising for the one of Ross Chastain from now on. Tim James? Yeah, in row 6, we see a swing of road course rangers, both AJ Allmendinger and Michael McDowell, both with great qualifying efforts. They both start 11th and 12th here today. In a day that started out bad for Christopher Bell at Richmond, ended up pretty okay as he finished 12th at Richmond. He starts 13th here at Glen. And Kyle Busch in the 8th, second in the point standings right now, 16 points right behind Truex Jr. Kyle Busch is hoping to close right back into the hunt of this championship. And how about the 7 of Justin Haley starting in the top 15 here today? A horrible season for the 7 of Justin Haley as he finds himself 33rd in points, right above Cody Ware, who could actually be eliminated here today from championship contention. The 7 though of Justin Haley though cannot though, as he's still 20 points above Cody Ware, and the 3 of Austin Dillon is right there, right beside him in 16th. Row 9, we see the 17 of Chris Buescher starting 17th. Right now, currently 6th in the standings. Not having a major collapse in the points, but he really needs to pick it back up here if he wants to get back up in the top 5. And starting 18, we see the 14 of Chase Briscoe on the outside of him. And rounding up the top 20, here in row number 10, we see the 6 of Brad Keselowski, who finds himself 3rd in the standings now, and the 43 of Eric Jones looking to continue to stay alive in the championship hunt. Jimothy?
Tyler Reddick, who had an incredible day at Richmond Raceway, unfortunately had to pit with 3 laps to go, ending what was a strong run for the 45 of Tyler Reddick, who led every single lap at that point. And look right here, guys, the 87 of Connor Zillage, making his first start here today in the Fastenal Cup Series. He starts right beside Tyler Reddick, starting in the 22nd position, so keep an eye on that 87 car because he could be strong here today. Row 12, we see the 41 of Ryan Preece, who is still below the top 30. Thankfully, though, he's not even close yet to being mathematically eliminated right now. But the 23 of Bubba Wallace coming up strong with a fantastic win in Richmond after stealing it away from his teammates. However, though, he's not starting off great once again because he is starting 24th in row 12. For even Alex Bowman, we have not talked about this. He is sneakily closing back into the top 5 in points. However, he is starting 25th today, so it's going to be another difficult task for him. And the 77 of Carson Hocevar, things just couldn't get any more worse for the 77 team as he now finds himself 23rd in the standings. Both of those guys start row 13 here today. And look right here, guys, starting in the 27th position, that is none other than the owner of Racing Energy 12 Enterprises Incorporated himself. Driving in the number 97 Ford for Nighthawk Motorsports Incorporated, that is none other than Tim Simmons himself. Yeah, Jimothy, not to mention, I've heard many rumors going on that 97 could indeed attempt to run every single race here in the remaining schedule, so we'll probably going to see that 97 a lot more often here in these final 5 races. But yeah, awesome to see the owner of Racing Energy 12 Enterprises Incorporated out there on the track today.
And in the 28th position, we see the 54 of Ty Gibbs alongside of that 97. And this is back in row 14.
Yeah, and also, guys, what does that say right there on the back of Tim Simmons' car?
Race hell, praise hell, baby.
Oh, good lord. How about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in number 47, who is currently 5th in the standings right now, finds himself 29th here today. That is not something you want to see if you're in the top 5 in points, so Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to have his work cut out for him, as he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to at least get up to the front here today. Right next to him, starting in 30th, it's Harrison Burton. He starts right beside him in row 15. Another one making his debut here today in the Fastenal Cup Series, starting 31st. That is the 60 of Joey Hand. This is the first time that we're seeing the 60 on track here in the Fastenal Cup Series. And Austin Cindric, not even starting great either, as he starts 32nd. A bad qualifying effort for the 2 of Austin Cindric, as well as the 38 of Todd Gillen, as he starts 33rd here today. Alongside of him, Daniel Hemrick starting 34th in the number 31. They both start in row number 17. And for the 3rd race in a row, we see Noah Gratson in the number 10 starting below the top 30. Another bad qualifying effort for the 10 of Noah Gratson. And his teammate Josh Berry is starting right beside him in row number 18.
And also, Simmons Tim, I believe you have some elimination scenarios here in row number 19, do you?
Yes, Sam, I do. We got elimination scenarios that could take place here for both Cody Ware and John Hunter Nemechek. If Cody Ware finishes 38th, Truex Jr. needs to finish inside the top 5 or get the victory here at Watkins Glen. And another scenario that could happen is that if Cody Ware could finish slightly higher than that, Truex Jr. needs to finish in the top 2 or get the victory. If one of those two things happen, Cody Ware will be eliminated from championship contention here today, but for John Hunter Nemechek is the most important one, and there's only one scenario that needs to take place. Truex Jr. needs to finish 11th or better here in this race, and if he does, no matter what position John Hunter Nemechek's in, he will officially be eliminated from championship contention here today, and that is your elimination scenarios that can take place here today at Watkins Glen in race 10 out of 15. Sim?
Thanks, Simmons. That's exactly what we're going to be keeping an eye on throughout this whole entire race. And guys, we do have somebody that did not qualify here this race. That would be the 78 of Calf and Leg. Yeah, guys, it was not going to be a great qualifying lap for Calf and Leg either, because that car was just incredibly off the pace. I don't know if she had like some sort of a problem or something, but that car was just completely off the pace. And as a matter of fact, she was actually a whole lot slower than both Jonathan Nemechek and Cody Ware, and that is saying something.
Yeah, and Tim James, I also heard that this was also scheduled to be Captain Led's final race in the Fastenal Cup Series, so this is definitely a stinger for sure, because this was supposed to be Captain Led's final scheduled race here today. Unfortunately, we're not going to see her participate here in tonight's race here at the Glen, but either way, guys, I'm still very excited about what we're going to be seeing here today.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm pretty sure all these race fans are tired of waiting, and I'm pretty sure they want to see all these guys go out here on track. We're going to jump straight right into it. We're going to finally get engines fired here today at Watkins Glen. Let's go trackside to get those engines fired here at the Glen.
Oh, here we go! Drivers, start your engine!
Fired up when you're ready. Fired up when you're ready. Fired up.
As the engine's fired, we are looking currently here at the weather scope. I'm being told that there is a great chance for snow to actually hit the area. So I don't know exactly when the snow will hit, but even if the snow does hit, we will try to at least try to see if we can race under those conditions. It just depends about how quick the snow is going to fall down and how quickly the visibility reduces. But I think for the most part, we should be okay for right now. But Jimothy, we want to do the honors here?
You didn't have to ask me twice. I'm ready for this. Let's go ahead and do this. Green flag is in the air. Bootity, bootity, bootity. Let's go, boy. Here in the Glen, boys. And guys, as you saw right there, we actually hired a lot more camera crew here for our series, because that was a rare camera angle that we hardly ever have here in the series. Obviously, since most of them were let go because of Tim Jimmins trying to frame them for not doing their job, even though they were making mistakes with showing bad angles. Most of them are back, don't worry. We were able to rehire them, and we explained the situation, and that's why they're there right now. But Chase Zoe bleeds here as we enter in the bus stop. But how about Shane Van Gisbergen, who dropped all the way to third? Yeah, guys, that's what I was just about to mention. Shane Van Gisbergen has fallen to the third place position after starting on pole. It looked like Chase Zoe had such a fantastic run coming into turn number 1, and we're going to focus on the 19 of Truex Jr. all day today. We're going to keep an eye on that number 19, because obviously, as we know, if the 19 finishes in the 11th place position or better, the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek is going to be eliminated from championship contention.
Wow, we saw right there, the one of Ross Chastain went way out of the apron right there. He went way up high, almost hit the wall coming into the carousel. Near close call right there for the one of Ross Chastain, and I think I saw many others going way out of line there as well. Yeah, guys, not to mention, it's December here in New England, so this is usually around the time where we see temperatures here in this region well below 30 degrees. And not to mention, guys, it's 26 degrees outside right now. This is usually the same temperature that we usually see when you're watching an NFL playoff game at Highmark Stadium. So with temperatures as cold as that, we're going to see a lot of drivers losing a ton of grip, especially enter into the carousel. And not to mention, Sim, we got some potential snow that is coming across this area, so if it does end up snowing here, it's going to be a real challenge for a lot of these guys, because they do actually, in fact, have snow tires ready to go for pit road in case of needed. But we'll see how everything plays out here, because you always know weather can always change.
That is indeed a fact, Jimothy. You'll never know how much weather can change. One day it could be sunny, one day it could be snowy, and then the other day it could be stormy. So we definitely need to keep a check on the weather here throughout the remainder of this race today. Yeah, guys, take a look at this. The 8 of Kyle Busch is trying to make a pass ahead of the 19 of Truex Jr. right now. Oh, we got a crash on the carousel
and around
here.
Goes the 4 of Josh Berry into the carousel. Looks like he nosed it into the wall. There's damage on the front end of that car.
And guys, I think I saw another car involved in this wreck as well. It was a green car. I don't know exactly who it was, but there was definitely at least 2 cars involved in this one. But already early trouble here in Watkins Glen, and yep, I was right. Another car was involved, and it was the 38 of Todd Gillen. Yep, and trouble has indeed struck early, as this is just the 3rd lap of this race, and already we have 2 cars involved in an accident here, including the 4 of Josh Berry and the 38 of Todd Gillen. And obviously that took place into the carousel. That's definitely not what the 4 and the 38 definitely needed, especially if they're this low in points. With Josh Berry, however, though, I think he was missing in the top 20 entry in here, but Todd Gillen is dangerously close below the top 30 in points. Let's take a look what happened here to Josh Berry. Yeah, guys, way up high, like what we saw a couple of these guys already so far. Oh, wow. Man. Oh, he rolled it. He got upside down. That 4 car bounced off the wall right back in front of traffic, leaving the 38 with nowhere to go, and as soon as the 38 made contact with the 4, it just toppled over that car, like what we saw from Ryan Preece both at Daytona and Charlotte. But man, already a big crash here coming into the carousel.
Yeah, let's take a look from our chopper camera. As you can see, Josh Berry going way up high, hitting the wall, bounced back in front of traffic. That 38 really had nowhere to go. He really had no chance to avoid it. But I think the 38 also had a different issue as he was trying to get back into pit road. Yeah, guys, the 38 was trying to get back onto pit road, and then as you can see right here, obviously the grip has been very low here. Obviously with the cold temperatures, he got into the sand traps for just a little bit, but thankfully he was able to get away from it, and he looks like he was able to get on pit road just fine. And here's an angle from the carousel. Look at that Ford car flipping over. That's very wild to see.
Yeah, it is, Sam, especially this early on in this race. It's just lap 3, and already we have an incident as big as this. Josh Berry is already done for the day, but we're not sure about Todd Gillen yet.
Yes, the 4 car is indeed done after this incident right here. As you see all these cars flying by, and then here comes the 4, Josh Berry, flipping over right in front of traffic. Thankfully, though, most of the field was able to negotiate through all this, so it wasn't a huge pad that he collected. It was just 2 cars involved in this accident, but it was still a very wild accident to say the least. As we ride along with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he sees the whole thing right in front of him, and he was able to negotiate through just fine. I agree, Sam. The whole field was pretty much ahead of this whole entire accident scene, so it really could have been a whole lot worse. It would have been a huge collision, to say the least. And here's the ride along with Todd Gillen. You can already see the 4 car of Josh Berry already way up into the apron, and here he comes, bang, right there. And look at this view right here, seeing the car flipping right in front of your windshield.
Yeah, that definitely must be a scary sight to see if you're a driver right in front of it, right behind an accident. Like, we've seen that multiple times from many other drivers in this series already, and right there, as you see, the 38 obviously was trying to get back on the pit road, but obviously, as you said, Jimothy, the grip has been so low, and that's why they've been getting way out of the apron here, especially what we saw with the 4 Josh Berry, which we're now riding along with.
Get ready, boys. This is hard.
Definitely something you do not want to experience if you're a race car driver. And Josh Berry has experienced this before IRL at Daytona, but now he experienced it in virtual reality at a road course instead of a super speedway. We guys already on just the 3rd lap here at the goal bowling at the Glen. We are under our first caution here at Watkins Glen with Josh Berry and Todd Gillen involved in an accident with Josh Berry tumbling over here at the carousel. And we do have a little bit of cleanup to do after this accident here, so we're going to take a quick commercial break here as Josh Berry and Todd Gillen, both involved in this accident, both drivers, could be done for the day after this accident. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with more after this.
Guys, take a look at this. As we come back from commercial break, we can now see that snow has hit across this area. We talked about how there's potential snow that could potentially hit the racetrack. Well, as you can clearly see right now, some of the snow is currently hitting the racetrack right now. Thankfully, though, they were able to get the snow tires on right before it hit during that pit road section. But now we're about to restart here. Green flag back in the air. We're back on the way of Watkins Glen. Oh, man, I saw a lot of guys loose right there mid-pat in the apron.
Oh, yeah, we got Cole on the wall, spinning around, coming into the restart zone. That's the 14 of Chase Briscoe. Everybody's able to negotiate through. Looks like only Chase Briscoe was involved in this one. But already chaos has ensued coming into this restart here at Watkins Glen. caution is right back out. Yeah, after a crazy restart here with snow falling here at Watkins Glen, we can already see that there is some chaos ensuing here as they're trying to adjust with these snow tires here. That's at the 48 of Alex Bowman. I think he was involved in the accident because I see a little bit of nose damage on the front of that car. Yeah, there could be, because I saw a lot of guys checking up for that 14 of Chase Briscoe, trying not to hit him. I didn't think there was other cars involved, but I think you're right, Sam. I think I do see damage on the 48 of Alex Bowman as well. Well, guys, this was all coming towards the restart here as we're going to look back on here. This is from the chopper camera. You see the 14 of Chase Briscoe right there. Whoa, got way up high. Looks like a lot of guys did. Looks like the 23 of Bubba Wallace might have gotten a piece. I think that was Tarzan Hocevar as well that scraped the wall coming towards the restart. Yep, and guys, the 48 of Alex Bowman was indeed involved. He was trying to avoid the accident scene. That 14 of Chase Briscoe came back in front of him. This is the exact same scenario like what we saw from Josh Berry and Todd Gilliland at lap number 3. Now, obviously, we don't know the extent of the damage for both of these guys, but we know, as you say, Sam, I saw the 23 also scrape the wall, nearly collecting the 77 with him. Well, here's the ride along with Chase Briscoe, as once again, this is coming towards the restart zone. Looking like it was going to be somewhat clean, but the 14 of Chase Briscoe, obviously, as you mentioned several times, Jimothy, the grip has been very low here. And now with the snowing, it's really going to be a real challenge for these guys. Yeah, and guys, I don't know how this is all going to play out because we hardly ever see weather affect NR 2003 offline lead series, and snow especially. We've never seen it snow in any sort of race here. This is really the first time that the Fastenal Cup Series has been affected with weather. And right now you see we're riding along with Alex Bowman right there. A lot of guys just got into the wall. Oh man, that 48 couldn't do anything. That 77 was right on the top side, and that 48, all he just had to do was try to check out and try to avoid it the best he can, but he couldn't. There's a blue sky. Why is it snowing?
Is this guy an idiot?
Anyways, here's the ride along with the 23 of Bubba Wallace. As this all happens, right in front of him, you see the 14 scrape the wall, bounce back into the 41, his teammate, and was a ping pong ball right in front of the field. Thankfully, though, it didn't collect a huge chunk of the field. But here we go, guys. Let's take a ride on board and listen to what Tim Simmons saw.
Green flag here, Jimmy. Let's go. Let's move. Clear all around you. Clear all around you. Right into the 47. Big back and front of you. Back and front of you. Check up, check up, check up. Go high. There you go, Jimmy. Let's go. Way to go, Jimmy.
Yeah, and guys, believe it or not, Tim Simmons has actually raced in an NR league before. And actually, as a matter of fact, he has raced in the NASCAR Hyperlane Truck Series in 2023. Shout out to Jonathan M., by the way. And that spotter that you heard was the exact same spotter that he had in that series where he actually won the first race at Daytona International Speedway. So, pretty much a family reunion for the both of those guys. It's awesome to see those guys work together, and especially seeing somebody from a different NR lead come here and race here today.
And guys, I think today marks 2 years to the day where we won that race at Daytona in that league.
That's right. Yeah. It was December 28th, 2023 where we won that race at Daytona. So great observation there, Tim James. Second caution already out here at Watkins Glen. This is still just the 5th lap of the race here at Watkins Glen. We're going to take another quick commercial break here as you see, snow already taking up chaos here at Watkins Glen International. As you see Chase Briscoe spinning around in the background, collecting Alex Bowman. Still don't know the amount of damage that both the 48 and the 14 has at the moment, but when we come back from the commercial break, we will find that answer for you. Already our second caution of the day here at the Gold Bowl and at the Glen. We'll be right back after this message. The snow has picked up a little bit harder here at Watkins Glen. We're going to restart here on lap 7 as these guys are on snow tires. This will be our second attempt to try to restart here on Watkins Glen. This is lap number 7. Green flag's back in the air. Let's see how things shape out this time.
Well, it was a much cleaner start right there. Not much people have went off or got loose right there. So I believe for the most part, everybody's going to be okay. But Chase Elliott continues to pull away from the 12 of Ryan Blaney. How about Shane Van Gisbergen, who falls back to 4th place?
Yeah, guys, to be honest, I don't think anybody has ever quite expected this. Snow at a racetrack, especially for an NR 2003 offline lead. I don't think anybody has expected this. But obviously, as I mentioned, it is December, so
And we are currently in New England, and you know how cold and how snowy it can get here in New England. So if we can maintain what we're doing here, and if we can make it through all the way to the end cleanly, that will definitely be a miracle. But here comes the tough part here as these guys enter in the carousel. Yep, that's right. This part of the track, we see a lot of drivers go way out of the apron. They're way out of the groove, but it looks like, for the most part, it looks like everybody seems to be okay right now. But Kyle Busch, however, though, is slowly trying to creep his way to the top. Well, he just jumped up into the 8th place position, but under pressure right now for Michael McDowell. But about Michael McDowell, though, hasn't really been a great season for Michael McDowell, really. Oh, we see Truex Jr. scrape the wall there just a little bit. He's able to keep it going, but I believe it's a little bit scraped up like that. He's going to lose a ton of spots here, and that's not what you want to see if you're the point leader.
And guys, he was running 11th, and that's the position that he needs to be in to eliminate John Hunter-Nemechek. Now he's about to fall back into 13th place. We got somebody off the track. That's Daniel Hamilton at number 31. And Jimothy, it's just like you talked about. The grip has been incredibly low here ever since the snow has started.
Yeah, it definitely has, and not to mention that it's below 30 degrees over here. It's 26 degrees currently so far here at Watkins Glen. The grip has been pretty much low ever since the start of this race, actually right before the snow actually started falling.
But I am definitely impressed that a lot of these guys are able to maintain racing in the snow here, because these guys, obviously they're not going as fast, so, but hey, they raced in the rain before IRL, so I think, I mean, most of the snow has to stick to the ground, so I believe they should be okay for the most part, but they got to watch out for these puddles here around these tracks. Yeah, and the caution does need to come out if necessary. They can definitely throw it here. But here's the sits of Brad Keselowski. Right now, he currently sits 17th right now, so it's not a great... Oh, right there. You saw him scraping the wall once again. It looks like a lot of guys did, because you saw some damage on the 45 as well. Obviously, coming into those turns right there, coming into the start finish line and the carousel is really challenging parts for some of these guys right now. Yeah, it definitely has been, but the leaders, though, right now have not any issues. But look, Shane Van Gisbergen now finds himself back into the top 3 after starting on pole. And I'm pretty sure Shane Van Gisbergen is probably wondering, what in the world is snow? Knowing that he's Australian, and Australia really hardly ever gets snow there. And besides, it's actually summer over there right now, so this is pretty much probably the first time that Shane Van Gisbergen has ever experienced snow. Well, right now he's currently running in the 3rd place position with no problems, so I say that's pretty impressive. Ooh, well, right there, though, he did slightly get out of line, but thankfully, though, he doesn't fall back tremendously, though. But here comes Ryan Blaney in the 12, still trying to get into the back bump of the number 9 to try to at least take the lead. Yeah, but how about Justin Haley in the 7? We haven't even talked about him all day so far. He's currently running inside the top 15 right now, so very impressive day for the 7 of Justin Haley right now. And this is something that he definitely needs to share. He's in the wall right there, scraping the wall right there just a little bit. And obviously, we've seen that from many guys before. But right now, they're currently single file right now, as you can clearly see. But Justin Haley's able to keep it going. He doesn't lose any spots. But Ryan Blaney, though, still seeing that 9 in front of his windshield, and he's really trying his best to see if he can get in front of the 9 car.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that 12 car has been very strong, but that 9 car has been stronger. Right now, he has led all 10 laps so far here at Watkins Glen, but that 12 of Ryan Blaney is really trying to get a run for his money. Yeah, not to mention, Timothy, he's just as hungry to get his 2nd victory of the season, but look how close he's closing in on the bumper of the 9 of Chase Elliott. He is currently the closest that he's been, right behind that 9 car of Chase Elliott, and we're going to see how he's able to get through it. Will he be able to get past the 9 car here in these 2 turns?
Oh, he's trying to. He's taking the peak now. He's about to make an attempt right here. Oh, wow, and the 12 got really loose right there. He had to check up a lot there. And that's going to give the 9 a clear advantage.
Oh, man, he lost so much momentum, and now he's going to have to chase him back down.
Oh, and Jimothy, he just got into the wall right there just a little bit. Yeah, the low grip around this racetrack is really not doing any justice. And what's happening with the 11 of Denny Hamlin right here?
No,
man, a lot of guys are way down in the grass. You can see I think that's the 24 William Byron also right there in the grass right here. Like I tell you one thing, the low grip has been a real challenge for a lot of these guys here. And Denny Hamlin really is trying to get back onto the apron right here. Oh man, and look at him. He's going to mow the grass right here. Oh, man, and he's stuck right there. He's also scraping the wall a ton right here. He's going to lose a ton of spots right here as he was just running 3rd.
Oh, man, he's got a lot of work cut out for him. Now he just lost the top 15. He's way out of it now. but he was running in the third place position. Now he's going to have to try to see if he can catch back up, especially near halfway throughout this race. Yep, especially with 12 laps to go, and look right here, you saw the 91 going way out of the groove right there as they enter into the carousel. Now the 5 of Kyle Larson is putting him under pressure. Yep, right now the 5 and the 91 are both side by side right now, and this is for the third place position. Looks like the 5 is going to clear out in front of him, and yes, he will. Shane Van Gisbert is going to drop the 4th once again. Alright, let me tell you something, guys. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. This is one of the more weirder races that I've ever seen. Not only do we have low grip here around this track, but the snow has also been a real factor here. But the most impressive thing about this is that most of these drivers is able to maintain it pretty clearly, as we see Kyle Busch trying to get past Daniel Suarez for 5th. And how about Daniel Suarez in the 99? Definitely something that Suarez definitely needed for sure, as the 11 of Denny Hamlin right here, as we can clearly see, still currently finds himself 16th just in front of Brad Keselowski. Yeah, guys, reminder, Brad Keselowski is currently 3rd in the standings right now, and he's still trying to do everything that he can to try to get back up in front, but it just feels like most of these races has not really been on his side, as he's not had a top 10 finish here in a while. Well, actually, Timothy, he actually did not that long ago at Richmond Raceway. He finished 10th, the last car on the lap down at Richmond. Do you remember that? Yeah, that's right. Thanks for reminding me, Simmons Tim. Like, it's just been a while since that race at Richmond happened, and not to mention that that we're coming off from Christmas break, and that race was also chaotic to begin with, from start to finish. Yeah, it definitely has been, Timothy, and it's definitely been a while since Richmond last took place. And Timothy, I'm pretty sure you haven't got over the Ednon hangover quite yet. Hey, come on, man. I love Ednon. Who doesn't love Ednon? I don't. Well, guys, we officially have 10 laps to go here at a very snowy Watkins Glen. Obviously, we had no idea that it was going to be snowing here at Watkins Glen, but it's definitely been an interesting race right there. But how about Michael McDowell in the 34? He's been pretty much running inside the top 10 pretty much all day here today, but looks like he had a little bit of a moment there. Now he finds himself in 12th, as Chris Buescher now passes him for 11th. Well, I mean, to be fair, it definitely has been a great day for Michael McDowell so far. He started in the 12th place position, and obviously, as we mentioned, that he is a road course winner, so he is pretty well experienced in road courses. And also, not to mention, guys, that Michael McDowell is currently 25th in points, so this could potentially help him out in points if he can at least finish where he's at right now. Even though he's running in the 12th place position, it will still be a good points-paying race nonetheless for the 34, as you saw the 17 way up high right there. Obviously, as I mentioned many times before, just not a lot of grip coming into the carousel. Yeah, absolutely, Tim James. Not to mention with all the snow and the cold currently taking place here at Watkins Glen, it's making it such a harder challenge for a lot of these guys. And I honestly don't know how long the snow is going to last. Oh my gosh! Incredibly close call right there for the 17 of Chris Buescher. As you saw, he was sideways exiting turn number 7, and not to mention, Chris Buescher has also had a streak of finishing every single race so far, and that would have been disastrous right there for the 17 of Chris Buescher, especially if you're top 10 in points. Yeah, guys, that got me leaning into my seat. That was an incredibly close call right there for the 17 of Chris Buescher. See the 16 of AJ Allmendinger in front of the 19. Oh, and the 7 of Justin Haley's off the pace right here into the grass. This is exactly what we saw from Denny Hamlin on lap 13. Come on, guys, what are we doing? And that is really going to cost Justin Haley, because he was running pretty decent. Now he falls himself into 21st and possibly going to lose more right now, as Ryan Preece in the 41 just now passed him. Yeah, and the 21 of Harrison Burton did too. That's going to drop him down into the 23rd position. But actually for the 7, I don't think he could be eliminated today. Is that right, Simmons Tim? No, Tim James, he cannot be eliminated after today, but obviously he could be in a position here in these next couple races, probably by race 12 if he doesn't keep up the pace. You heard that right from Simmons Tim, everybody. Justin Haley could be eliminated by race 12 if he doesn't keep up the pace right here. The 22! Oh, Joey Logano! And championship contender Joey Logano is in the wall into the carousel. And guys, that 22 has damage into the nose. I believe he might have hit the wall, just like what we saw from Josh Berry on lap number 3. This is going to be huge in the standings, because Joey Logano entered in this race 4th in the standings, and that's not what you want to see if you're the 22 in the top 5 in points. Racing back to the line here at Watkins Glen, Joey Logano entered in this race 26 points behind our current championship leader, Truex Jr., and this is also going to be helpful for the 8 of Kyle Busch as well. Yeah, this just left it wide open for a lot of these guys, especially for the guys behind Joey Logano, currently 5th and 6th.
but championship implications taking place here at Watkins Glen on lap 16 with 8 laps to go here in the Glen. And as they race back to the line, Shane Van Gisbert in the 91 is trying to get in front of the 5 with Kyle Larson for 3rd place. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to, so Kyle Larson is going to stay in 3rd, and Shane Van Gisbert is going to stay in the 4th place position with Daniel Suarez in the top 5.
And our race leader at the time right now, Chase Elliott in the 9, led them back to the start-finish line. Right now, he has led all 16 laps so far and is trying to become the 4th driver to ever lead every single lap in a race. Tyler Reddick tried to do that at Richmond a couple weeks ago, but we all know how that turned out for him.
Yeah, and also, guys, this is not good news for the 22 of Joey Logano, especially being this far out into the field.
Apparently, he had some sort of a problem. I don't know what happened, but he was way back deep in the field. And right there, like what we saw from Josh Berry, he got way out of the apron, way out of line. And he hit the inside armco Berry, and then he bounced back to the opposite side of it, not only having 1 hard hit, but 2 hard hits in the mix as well.
Oh!
Yeah, and also, not to mention, guys, we've had a lot of drivers that are currently complaining about the condition of the track. They were questioning about why they allowed them to be racing here currently at the track right now. Joey Logano, we heard a little bit ago on the radio, we're not going to play it on the air for you for parental reasons. But as you can probably imagine, Joey Logano is pretty irate on the radio because he's wondering about why they decided to let them race out here in the snow and why they decided to let them allow this, because obviously the grip has been low. The snow is causing it to lose more grip for these drivers.
As of course, as you saw right there, Joey Logano going way up high, as we saw from the onboard of Ricky Stenhouse. And of course, we know now, Joey Logano is definitely going to fall back in points after this. Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely not something that Joey Logano wanted because, of course, he was 4th in the standings. He was relatively closing in on Truex Jr. the championship standings, you know, at Richmond Raceway. And, of course, out of that bad result at Richmond Raceway, this definitely puts him in a jeopardized situation that could definitely drop him out of the top 5.
Well, it was so good for so long.
Turned into a very bad situation for the 22 of Joey Logano, who was 4th in the standings, and now will more than likely be out of the top 5 out of the day. With major damage on the number 22 of Joey Logano, we will find out if he will be able to continue or not. But for right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and we'll be right back here at a winter wonderland here in Watkins Glen. Well, the snow really hasn't improved here at Watkins Glen International. It's pretty much been around the same ever since it first started falling. But nonetheless, we're going to be restarting here at Watkins Glen as we got 5 laps to go here at the Gold Bowling at the Glen. Chase Elliott continues to lead the way.
Yeah, guys, it also looks like everybody is keeping it safe at the moment right now because obviously, as you can tell, it's still snowing out here at Watkins Glen, and we don't know how hard it's going to be. It has been snowing here at Watkins Glen for at least 30 minutes, so they've been out here in the snow for at least a half an hour. So obviously, this is much more different than racing in the rain in IRL, and I don't think we've ever seen anything like this in any sort of NR league at all, from my memory. But after that long green flag run that we've had, a lot of people are actually finally keeping it safe at the moment right now because obviously they have no idea about how much this is going to affect their cars, considering about how hard the snow is coming down right now.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it, because obviously we've seen a lot of guys, especially here in this corner, go way out of the apron here as we're going to take a look at this extended view right here. And I believe, from my knowledge, everybody is at least letting off the brake a little bit early than what they usually do.
What in the world was that?
In the world?
Did the New Year's ball drop early? What in the world just happened?
Yeah, guys, I also felt that right here in my booth as well. I don't know what happened, but I think we just had a travesty. What? Dude, guys, I just saw something fly into the air at the exact same section about where Joey Logano hit the wall with that last caution.
Oh no!
Is that the car right there?
Is that the car right there that you're talking about, Sim? Because I think that was what was the reason for that big explosion that we heard in the booth. I bet the entire state of New York even felt that explosion. Who was that even? That was Michael McDowell.
And we were just talking about how Michael McDowell was having such a great run. I think he was the reason about what caused all of that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and guys, Michael McDowell did not turn into a fiery inferno right there in the carousel. I just personally think is that Michael McDowell may have hit the wall hard enough for the car to make that sort of sound, and I believe what you saw right there flying into the air was Michael McDowell's car way up into the air. I think that's what you saw right there, Sam.
Red flag's out.
Yeah, better be.
Oh my gosh. What?
Well, okay, let's take this moment to at least try to calm down here for a little bit and see what actually happened to cause that huge sound. Yeah, there's the car right there. I saw one car go way out of the apron right there. Oh, there it is right there. Oh my!
Oh my God.
Hey guys, and I believe that's where the sound came from. It was Michael McDowell hitting that wall and going way up into the air right there. I think that's what you guys saw and heard. Oh my gosh. Well, but gradually we're going to take a look and see if Simmons' Tim theory holds true. There you see Michael McDowell coming in the frame right there, and oh man, look at this!
God.
Oh my goodness, out of the ballpark, home run!
Yep, that's exactly what I imagined it would be. Michael McDowell's car hitting the wall at an angle that caused the car to go way up into the air, getting snapped at the arm co, lifted it out of the ballpark, guys. Oh, that's bad.
Wow, whew. I don't think we've ever seen an accident anything quite like that before in the series yet. But, yeah, obviously Michael McDowell with low grip right there, way up out of the apron, way out of the grip. Look right there, the car literally got snagged up against the arm co barrier, and it literally lifted him up into the air out of the ballpark. Just a horrifying accident at the carousel. You just gotta hope that Michael McDowell is okay after he went straight out of the ballpark. Keep your fingers crossed. Alright, well, here is the view from the chopper camera, and as you can see, McDowell got way up high. I actually almost got into those tire barriers, and right there, he was just way up there, right under the apron, and the wall just came closing in fast, and I'm pretty sure he was trying his best to try to avoid that wall the best he can, but yeah, there was little to no time left to react after that one. Yeah, I mean, Michael McDowell really couldn't have done anything there. I mean, like, he was way out of the apron. I mean, he was trying his best to try to avoid that wall, but it's like you said, Sam, really nothing that he can do right there. There's a very vicious hit. You just gotta hope that McDowell's okay. And yeah, Simmons, Tim, you were right. It was definitely a travesty that took place in the chicane. Wrong series. Well, guys, I'm gonna be the first to say this. The Amor Safety Penguins did arrive towards the 34 Michael McDowell's car, and they are targeting him currently right now, and he is conscious inside the car, but they're going to try to get that thing back up and rolling and see if he could climb out of that car under his own power, but you could probably imagine that Michael is pretty shaken up in there. Alright, well, guys, here's the onboard of Justin Haley. You're going to see the 34 come flying in, going over the wall right here, right in front of you. Man, that must be a very scary sight to see if you're a driver. Just seeing a car having a hellacious accident right in front of you. And obviously, you just gotta hope that McDowell's okay. Keep him in your thoughts, folks. Alright, and next up, guys, we will be riding along with Michael McDowell here. And as you can see, he's minding his own business. But look how he enters into this corner here. He's gonna go way up high over the apron, way out of line. And he's gonna make slight contact with this arm co barrier right here. But hang on tight, boys. This is the hard one.
My God. Yeah, guys, and that's exactly the same noise that we heard up here in the booth. That's why the whole entire facility shook, because the whole entire facility could have actually heard that explosion, and that's why we felt the booth shake from here.
A horrible accident here at Watkins Glen as we're under the red flag, and obviously we don't know the condition of Michael McDowell yet at this time, but oh no. And I quote for Ryan Blaney, this is effing stupid. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break here as we are under the red flag due to a horrible accident on lap 20, which Michael McDowell goes over the wall here in a terrible hit. As you see, the car gets snagged up against the arm co barrier, flips it over, goes over the ballpark, and comes to rest on this roof. And like I said, keep your fingers crossed, folks, here at Watkins Glen. Alright, well, here's the good news. As you can clearly see, we are currently back under the yellow flag conditions, and as you can see, the snow has finally stopped here around Watkins Glen. It finally moved across the area, so now we are back under clear track conditions, but however, though, for Michael McDowell's condition, that's the bad news. Apparently, we were told that Michael McDowell, for further evaluation and precautionary measures, Michael McDowell is going to be taken to a local hospital here at the Watkins Glen facility, and just obviously it's just precautionary. We don't know the extent of McDowell's injuries, but we just hope that it's not too severe, we just hope that it's only minor. But as we are back under the green flag, finally here at Watkins Glen, and we officially have 2 laps of racing to go here at Watkins Glen. Chase Elliott continues to lead away with Ryan Blaney in second. Yeah, guys, I also want to clarify all the viewers at home that we've also had a lot of safety adjustments done inside these cars because obviously we know that about how much these cars have been flipping over here in this series so far, and just race officials and car mechanics have been looking into these cars, and they're making cars a lot more safer than what they usually are. So you just gotta hope that McDowell isn't too hurt, and you just gotta hope that it's just a precautionary measure, like what Sim Timmons just said. But yeah, still, folks, that was a huge crash. Well, we're coming towards the white flag. Chase Elliott continues to lead the way. Ryan Blaney is still looking for his second win of the series, as well as Kyle Larson. Both Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott, as a matter of fact, are both looking for their first wins of the season. And
Another crash in the carousel. It's the sixth car.
Brack is lost. He's spinning around in the carousel. Another championship contender. And guys, I think that's going to end this race. Caution is out. Chase Elliott's going to win this race. And Chase Elliott, as you can see, they took the white flag here at Watkins Glen, and since there's no overtime rules here, these guys are going to pace through the entire track, and that's going to be the end of the race. As you see, Brack Keselowski, it looks like that's Connor Zillage in the 87, looks like also with damage as well. I believe he was caught up in that incident as well. And yes, Jimothy, you are correct. This is indeed going to end the race under caution because we have no overtime rule. So you're going to be pacing around this whole entire track. And so that means Chase Elliott is going to be your winner here at Watkins Glen. This is going to be his first win of the season. Ryan Blaney is going to come home in second with Kyle Larson in the third place position. My, oh my, what a race, guys, from start to finish. Yeah, this was definitely an interesting race. I mean, not to mention that in a good majority of this race, nearly a half portion, we saw a lot of snow racing because we saw that small snow shower come in and pop in here around this track, and just yeah, it was an incredible race. And obviously you see the 9, the 12, and the 5 finishing home in the top 3. Shane Van Gisbergen in the number 91, who saw it on pole, did not lead a single lap, comes home in the 4th place position. But, however, though, it's a great points-paying race for Kyle Busch in the 8, as he does come home in the 5th place position. That is really going to help him out in points because I think he beat it out Truex Jr. as Truex finishes home in the 10th place position. And guys, how about Daniel Spoilers in the 99? Comes home in the 7th place position. A great points-paying race for him as well. Christopher Bell comes home in 6th. There's AJ Allmendinger in the 16th. Comes home in the 8th place position. Finally, a top 10 for AJ. Truex Jr. rounds out in 9th place. And right behind them, that's Denny Hamlin, I believe, finishing home in the 10th place position. And guys, you can already hear it. The crowd is already up on their feet. They are about to celebrate as the fan favorite Chase Elliott is about to come into turn number 6, into turn number 7. 6-7. And they are about to take the checkered flag. The checkered flag is about to wave. And the 9 car of Chase Elliott secures win number 1 here in the Fastenal Cup Series. Chase Elliott is your winner of the Go Bowling at the Glen.
It's definitely a much-needed win for that 9 car, Tim James, and especially about the season that he had at the beginning of the year. But, yeah, it was definitely a much-needed win for Chase Elliott, and that's really going to help him out in the points because not only that, he also led every single lap here today, so that is really going to help him out for sure because he's going to get at least 3 extra points. Yep, and ladies and gentlemen, with Truex Jr. finishing home in the 9th place position here today, John Hunter Nemechek in the 42 has become the first driver to be knocked out of championship contention as he comes home in the 31st position. All he needed was Truex Jr. to finish 12th or worse, and maybe he would have stayed alive for one more race, but unfortunately, Truex finished home in 9th, and that will knock the 42 out of championship contention. But Cody Ware, however, though, he finished 29th, so that was slightly better, but Truex did not finish home into the top 5, so that's going to keep Cody Ware alive, at least for one more race, as he avoids elimination. And there's the 9 car of Chase Elliott, your winner here at Watkins Glen. And let's take a look back and see what brought up this final caution here to end this race. Yeah, and guys, it's just like what we saw many times before. A lot of guys going way out of the apron. Brack Keselowski just did the exact same thing like what happened to Joey Logano. Instead, the 87 of Connor Zillage made hard contact with the 6 that caused that car to go spinning around like a top. But thankfully, though, the 6 car was able to get it back up and rolling, though. It's still going to be a bad result, though, for the 6 car because this is definitely not what he needed, especially if you're third in the standings. Yeah, that's right, guys. Unofficially, Brack Keselowski finished home in the 33rd position after this accident here. That's definitely not great news
to hear if you're the six of Brad Keselowski, especially entering third in the standings, 22 points behind Truex Jr. That is going to be costly for the six of Brad Keselowski as we're right along with him. Austin Cindric also did the same as well, but for Brad Keselowski, however, though, he got the short end of the stick after he hit the Armco barrier and came back in front of the field, and he ended up getting caught up in this one, collecting the 87 of Connor Zillage. And also, guys, how about one more ride along with Tim Simmons as he goes along in this wreck?
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, around you, buddy. Watch out, it's 54. He scraped the wall. Go inside, 21. Look out, throw it right from the target. There you go, buddy. Let's go, baby. Top 20, baby. Woo!
Obviously, the spotter is incredibly energetic after Tim Simmons finished in the top 20 in his first race in the Fastenal Cup Series. An incredible milestone for him, and let's right along with Ty Gibbs. He as well also got into the wall right there, and look how close he was to get involved in that accident with the six of Brad Keselowski. Man, that was a close call. Yeah, it definitely was for sure, but obviously, like I said, this is not good news if you're the six of Brad Keselowski, especially if you're third in the standings, 22 points behind our current championship leader, Truex Jr. He's definitely going to lose all those points now because, not to mention that he finished home in the 33rd position. It really hasn't gone anything good for Brad Keselowski so far in these couple of races here, but he's still in the hunt of this thing, but this is really going to put him in a pretty dire situation in these next couple of races.
Absolutely, Tim James, but we're going to take a look at the point standings here in a little bit because unofficially, we're going to be taking a look at your results here at Watkins Glen as this race ended under caution. Chase Elliott obviously is your winner here at Watkins Glen. He led every single lap of the day. He becomes the fourth driver to ever lead every single lap in a race. The second time that that's happened here at the road course, Shane Van Gisbergen did it at Sonoma.
Yeah, and that's very impressive, especially when we had that portion where we raced in the snow. I was surprised he was able to lead every single lap up into that point. Obviously, we see Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Kyle Busch. Great points-paying race for all of those guys, and this is really going to help him out in points, including Christopher Bell and Daniel Suarez. AJ Allmendinger also with a great run as well. Truex Jr., our championship leader, comes home in 9th, and Denny Hamlin rounds up the top 10.
And guys, let's look right here in the 16th place position, Joey Hand. We haven't even talked about Joey at all here today, and he was having a quiet day, and he finished home in the 16th place position for that car, number 60. Yeah, that was definitely impressive for the 60 of Joey Hand, even though we haven't even paid attention to him all race. But how about Justin Haley and Tim Simmons, as you mentioned, finishing home in the top 20?
Yeah, great race for both of those guys, including the 7 of Justin Haley. That is definitely something that he definitely needed, especially being 33rd in the points, third last among all full-time drivers. That will definitely help him out here in these next couple of races.
Absolutely.
But not great days, however, though, for the 47 and the 22, both who were in the top 5 in points, both finished home 24th and 28th. Joey Logano, who was caught up in that accident on lap 14, I believe, he gets caught up in that one, and he's going to lose a lot of momentum in the championship points. He's going to drop down in points. Yeah, not only the 47 is going to lose points too, the 23 is also going to lose a bunch of momentum, especially after coming in strong from that amazing victory at Richmond. Those 3 guys are definitely going to drop in points.
Yeah, obviously that's not great to see, especially coming in with 4 races to go. Now they got a lot. Now they got a lot to fight for now as we are closing into the end of the season. But it's not over yet. We still got a lot of races to go. But we'll see how those 3 are able to get back up in points if they can get up there. And obviously, as you can see, rounding up the field, right there in 31st, John Nemechek, officially eliminated from championship contention. It's just been a bad season for John Nemechek. Nothing can go right for this 42 team. So far, currently with 5 DNFs as we just finished race 10 here. And his best finish that he's had so far, 16th. And that was back at Bermuda Triangle at race 4.
Yeah, just a nightmare season for that 54 of John Nemechek. Obviously, he has not been able to secure that many points because he only has 61 points coming in here, and now with him finishing in the 31st position, that's only going to get him 8 more points, but he will definitely be out of the championship hunt as of now. And obviously, we just see on that list, Michael McDowell in the 34, who had that horrible accident on lap 20. We still have no idea about his condition yet because obviously we just said that he was transferred over to a local hospital in the Watkins Glen area for further evaluation, and that's all the information that we can provide to you at this time from Michael McDowell. But you just got to have good thoughts for Michael McDowell because that was indeed a nasty wreck. Yeah, you just gotta hope for the best for that 34 Michael McDowell, especially if he's trying to keep his season alive. It looked like he had a great run going on for a while there until that corner at lap 20. But, yeah, yikes, that was still a brutal accident. Well, folks, now let's take a look at your point standings. We have a huge swing right here from multiple other drivers. Except for the 19 and the 8, Truex Jr. continues to be the championship leader. Kyle Busch now right behind him by only 12 points. But now, as you can see right here, Chase Elliott and Chris Buescher and Ryan Blaney moves up to the top 5. Yeah, guys, take a look at this. Both Elliott, Buescher, and Blaney are all separated by one singular point.
Well, obviously, the 9 and the 12 had a big boost to the points because the 9 of Chase Elliott entered in this race 10th in the standings, I believe, and Ryan Blaney entered in this race 8th in the standings, and now Ryan Blaney currently finds himself 5th, and Chase Elliott currently in the 3rd place position in the points.
Yeah, and of course, both Blaney and Chase Elliott both finished out 1 and 2, and that's why they're up there in points. But as you can clearly see, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who did finish home in the 24th position, didn't lose that many positions. He only lost 1 position as he now drops to 6th, only 1 position back. But Joey Logano, however, he entered in 4th in the standings. Now he finds himself 7th in the standings. And as you see, Brad Keselowski, this is a huge one. He entered in 3rd in the standings. He comes out of here 9th in the standings.
Yeah, obviously a huge curve down for the 6 of Brad Keselowski. That is definitely not what that 6 car definitely needed, especially when you're 22 points behind the 19. Now he's in a precarious situation where he needs to really fight like hell in these final 4 races.
Yep, absolutely, especially after what I saw from the schedule, Tim James. It is going to be a wild schedule here with these final 4 races, and you're about to find out what race number 11 is here in just a bit.
Yep, it's definitely going to be a wild adventure here in these final 4 races as the championship battle continues to get very interesting, as now it's a manhunt between both drivers, the number 19 and the 8, Kyle Busch and Truex Jr., currently in the hunt for the championship right now. And yes, Jimothy, we are about to reveal race number 11 right now because this is going to be our first race of the new year in 2026. And what better time to start off the new year by heading into our final draft package on the schedule, that being Atlanta Motor Speedway. Wait, no, fix that right now. I don't want to see that. No, fix that right now. Thank you. Yes, Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Quaker State 400 for race number 11 of the Fastenal Cup Series, the first race of 2026. Is going to be our final drafting track on the schedule, and it's going to be a lot more intimidating for a lot of these guys, especially coming into a track like Atlanta.
Yeah, guys, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be a wild race for sure, especially with how close the racing's going to get here at this particular track, because we saw it many times before from many different races IRL, but we're about to see that in virtual reality for the 11th race of the season and the first race of 26.
Absolutely, guys. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and it's just it's gonna be wild for sure because not to mention it's gonna be the same patches that we brought at Daytona, Talladega, and Bermuda Triangle. So it's definitely gonna be a wild one for sure because a lot of these guys are really gonna fight like crazy to try to see if they can be in the hunt for the championship, including the 19 and the 8, and even potentially the 9, the 17, and the 12, as they are still in the midst of this as well.
Yep, it's definitely going to be a wild race for sure at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And before we sign off on the air, we actually got a little update about Michael McDowell's condition. And right now, at this time, Michael McDowell did some X-ray scans, and every single one of them came out negative, and Michael McDowell was able to be released from the hospital in just a short amount of time, and that is great news to hear.
Yeah, absolutely, especially after a crash like that. We've seen a lot of these car technicians put a lot more safety features into these cars, especially what we saw from these past couple races. A lot of brutal accidents for sure. I'm just glad they were able to do something, and Michael McDowell was able to walk away on its own power.
Absolutely. You hate seeing drivers getting hurt, even if it's virtual reality, but yeah, that's awesome news to hear, especially after what we it was still a brutal accident for sure. Probably the worst accident I've seen so far here as a commentator here on the booth, even though it's just the second race, but that was still a very bad accident. But we can hope that these guys can at least have a clean race in Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we can prevent such accidents like that again.
Yeah, well, of course, I wanted to end off on a very good note, especially because I don't want to leave you guys hanging about Michael McDowell's condition. Thankfully, though, that came on right before we were about to conclude our broadcast, so that is definitely perfect timing. But that does it for our broadcast here at Watkins Glen International. Thank you all so much for tuning in here at the Go Bowling at the Glen. Congratulations to your winner, Chase Sully, for getting win number 1 of the season. We will see you guys at Hampton, Georgia, and Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Quaker State 400 for race number 11 for the first race of 2026. Until then, thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the first race of 2026. We'll see you guys then. Happy New Year! Okay, do you guys want to get some more eggnog?
Jimothy, come on!
Oh, come on, man!